Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I am with Sew Yours. I've got a brand new sewing pattern for you. Please meet the Joey Sling. So this pattern has been a long time in the making. I believe I designed this last October or November of 2023, and I had expected to release this in January of 2024, but we ended up getting the Dunellen, Florida store, opening that up, so this got put to the back burner. So now I am excited to finally be releasing this pattern. I personally thought that I did not like a sling bag, even though I never tried one myself. Our Facebook group moderator Summer had suggested to me about a year and a half ago that I should make a sling bag pattern, and I just didn't think that that was something I wanted to do. And later on, I revisited that idea. I said, let me just give it a go. I will make one up, see how I like it. And the initial prototype was this beauty right here. This is the mini-sized Joey Sling. So all these other ones that you see right here are the full-size Joey Sling printed at 100%. However, if you want a mini-sized Joey Sling, you'll need to print the pattern at 85% to get this little version right here. I like this one the best for me because I am only 4'11", so this one sits perfectly on me. The only downfall with the mini size is you're not going to be able to get your cell phone in the front slip pocket right here. It's just not large enough. The turn lock right here gets in the way. However, you can store your cell phone right here in the main zipper compartment. Another thing with the mini size is you're not going to be able to put the credit card slots in it because it's too small, whereas with the 100% version, we've got 4 credit card slots built into the lining for you. So for my second prototype, I upped the pattern size just a bit, but I didn't think it was quite big enough. I wanted to go a little bit bigger. That way I give you guys a nice variation of 2 different sizes. So this was prototype number 2. Now some changes that I made with the second prototype was here in the first one, we've got a strap connector for a 1.5-inch wide strap, whether that's webbing or if you make your own strap. And with the second version right here, I've given you a second strap connector piece that will accommodate a 1-inch wide piece of webbing or strap if you'd like to make yours. So for this one, I chose to make my own strap at 1-inch wide. So you've got that option for both the mini sized as well as the 100% size. Another thing that I changed on the second round or the second prototype here was I left the D-ring flexible so that you could slide it back and forth. So if you want to do that in the sewing tutorial, I'll make a recommendation in order to allow your D-ring to slide back and forth. I personally didn't find that I liked it. I just thought that this was a little bit too loose here, and I like it to be anchored down like I did here on the initial prototype and all of my other versions that I'll show you here today. So here we've got 2 D-rings that are anchored into place, and this does not have a loop at all. I love sling bags because it allows you to keep your bag right in front of you and reduce the chance of getting pickpocketed. I wear my sling bags to craft shows, so when I first made the initial prototype, I carried it to the World Equestrian Center craft show, and I was very hyper aware at the show of what everybody was wearing at the show, and I have to tell you there was probably at least 70% of the women there were carrying a sling bag. So they're very, very popular for the last couple of years. If you have not given it a go, I would highly recommend you try a sling bag because it's well worth it. It's hands-free, it's nice and secure. You can wear it in the front or you can wear it in the back. And here is a look at the mini version printed at 85% on me. Like I said, I like this one the best. All I need in my sling bag is my phone, my keys, my credit cards, some cash, and a few other small items. So this is going to fit all of my needs for a sling bag. But if you like the bigger version, please print the pattern at 100%. I made this first Joey Sling with some fabric that I had in my personal stash, as this was before I started carrying my own fabrics. I did have the webbing, however. This is our #1 selling railroad webbing in the turquoise, and I think it's called navy. This is my personal favorite as well, so I did use that. We also had all the hardware in stock, so this is our gunmetal hardware. We do have hardware kits available for purchase for this sewing pattern, so we've done all the work and gathered all the supplies for you. So if you'd like a hardware kit, please go ahead and check the description box below, and we'll have that there for you. On this version, I went with our gray Savannah suede, paired it with a quilting cotton that we have here in our shop. This is almost out of stock, and I paired that with light gold hardware to bring out the gold tones in the printed fabric. All right, so the next prototype that I made, which is the third one, I scaled up the size even a little bit more. So here is the final size on the teal Savannah suede version right here. So it is a little bit bigger, and I will show you the difference side by side on the mini one printed at 85% and the full size printed at 100%. So there is a difference right there. So this one, like I mentioned, I made it with our teal Savannah suede, paired it with our nickel hardware, and our beautiful webbing right here. Don't remember the name of it, but we do have that online available for purchase if you want to make your own Joey sling with the teal Savannah suede as well as this webbing. All right, next up, this is the one that I made in the sewing pattern for the written instructions. This one's pretty jazzy with all of the print here. So we went with the Poppin' Paisley printed vinyl that we have on our website, paired it with our hot pink Savannah suede. We've got nickel hardware right here. And then we went with our seatbelt webbing that's 1.5 inch wide that says handcrafted on it. Now I do want to let you know that we are almost sold out of this webbing, and we will not be bringing this particular style back as we have our own exclusive webbing that is going to be coming to our shop and online in the very near future that is going to say handmade on it. I'm very excited. I designed it myself, and it is going to be a little bit different than the other handmade and handcrafted embossed webbings that you have seen. So look for that in the near future. So that is the one in the written pattern. And lastly, we've got the one that I made in the video tutorial. So as with all of my sewing patterns, I do include a video tutorial of me making the bag along the way. So it's like you're taking a class at home in your living room or your sewing room, wherever you are, so you can learn to make this bag yourself. So this one I used our Lavender Nights printed vinyl and paired it with our grape milled grain faux leather here. And I pulled in the gold tones that are here in this fabric and used our light gold hardware. Now, the two over here on my left, which is going to be your right here, were made by our staff members here in our Dunallen, Florida store. So we have this one right here made by Angie. This is our red milled grain faux leather with our light gold hardware. And for the webbing here, this was something that she had in her personal stash, so it's just a red seatbelt webbing. And we have our handmade or handcrafted purple or grape webbing here on this one that I didn't mention. Another thing that I did in the video tutorial that's not in the written instructions is I did add this little D-ring. This is a 3/4 inch D-ring. So if you want to hang up your Joey sling on a hook, you'll be able to do that. If you are sewing on a domestic machine, I wouldn't recommend it as it's too bulky right here in order to sew all of those layers. So you probably don't want to do that on yours. And lastly, let me step over here and grab the final one. This one was made by Sharon here in our shop, and she used our cranberry Savannah suede, and she paired it with the arrow webbing. I'm not sure the color that we have it listed on the website, might be cranberry or maroon, and she did also do the little D-ring right here. So that is all of the different versions. She did pair it with some antique brass hardware. This turn lock was from her personal stash. For the inside of the lining of the Joey sling, we do have 4 credit card slots, which do require non-fraying fabric, and a mesh slip pocket. Now, if you don't have any mesh, you can certainly just make your own slip pocket, no problem at all with any cotton fabric, or if you're choosing to do waterproof canvas for your lining, you could use that as well. This is a bound bag, so you are going to need some binding. I prefer the fold-over elastic now, but I also love waterproof canvas binding, or you can go ahead and get yourself some double fold bias tape to do your binding. Whatever method that you prefer, you guys can go and do that for your binding. Let's go over all of the hardware that you're going to need to make your own Joey sling. First up, this is optional, but a bag tag. So whether it is your business name or a handmade bag tag, you can add one of those to your Joey sling. The hardware kit does include our handmade bag tags. You're going to need a turn lock or a magnetic snap, whichever one that you prefer. I personally love the look of the turn lock. It really makes the bag pop. I also recommend using a solid fabric anytime you are using a turn lock here. That way the turn lock can shine against the fabric and doesn't get lost against a print. You'll need 1 to 2 zipper pulls that are number 5. You will also need number 5 zipper tape. The measurements are probably 16 or 17 inches. I didn't write that down, so I don't remember, but that will be on the product listing for how much you're going to need. You'll need a strap, whether you make your own from your fabric or if you are going to go with webbing, you will need that around 50 to 60 inches in length, either 1 inch wide or 1.5 inch wide. We've got lots of different webbing options here in our store as well as online. I will put those on the screen so you can kind of see all of the different webbings that we do carry. You are going to need a snap hook. Now the width of the snap hook is going to depend on the webbing that you're using, so 1 inch or 1.5 inch. You will need 1 or 2 D-rings for connecting the back here to your bag. If you want to do the 1 D-ring and allow it to slide, you can do that. Or if you're making this bag for yourself and you know what side you are going to clip your snap hook to, then you only need 1 D-ring too. So that's completely up to you. Now you can add some rivets if you'd like. Some of our testers have added rivets right here to the strap connector piece. So Angie did one here in the center, and she did our decorative stitching that I recommend and show you how to do in the pattern. But some of our testers omitted the stitching and did a couple of rivets. So those are a couple places you can do rivets. You can also do rivets here along your strap, D-ring strap anchor here. I've seen some of the testers do that as well. So we do include 2 rivets for you if you want to use them. On all of mine, I did not use any rivets. So that's an optional piece of hardware. And lastly, you are going to need a strap slider. Again, that's going to be based upon the width of your strap that you are making. And then for the slip pocket inside the lining, you are going to need some mesh if you are choosing to do it like the pattern. We do stock many different colors of our mesh here in our store as well as online. So check out all of the rainbow of colors of mesh that we have available. Like I mentioned, our credit card slots do need to be non-fraying fabric. So make sure that you have that handy, whether it's cork, vinyl, faux leather, faux suede, anything like that. It's going to work for your credit card slots. And lastly, if you want to add a D-ring here at the top, you'll need a 3/4 inch D-ring. Again, that is only recommended if you're working on a semi-industrial or an industrial sewing machine. Links to everything I mentioned in today's video will be posted in the description box below. Please go ahead and grab your copy of the pattern, join our Facebook group, and share photos of your completed Joey Sling, as we'd love to see what you make with our sewing patterns and products. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.